The danger room hummed with a low, expectant thrum. Kurt Wagner, Nightcrawler, stood poised, his cerulean form a study in focused intensity. He'd just been through hell, rescued from the terrifying grip of Nimrod, and the X-Men were keen to see him back in action. With a mischievous grin, he prepared for a simple evasion drill. A quick twist, a momentary blur, and a soft bamf. That was his signature. He coiled, muscles tensing, ready to vanish and reappear across the holographic cityscape. He focused, the familiar tingle building in his core, a vibrant spark of the void just within reach. He pushed, the internal command clear and unwavering. But nothing happened. The tingle faded, replaced by an unfamiliar hollowness. He stood exactly where he was, his grin faltering, replaced by a frown of confusion. He tried again, summoning every ounce of his will, but the air remained unstirred, his position unchanged. The signature Bamf was silent. A cold dread seeped into Kurt's heart. He was grounded. After the immense physical and mental strain of his ordeal with Nimrod, the very core of his mutant ability, his power to teleport, had seemingly burned out. It was as if the wellspring from which he drew his incredible gift had run dry, leaving him stranded in a world he was used to effortlessly phasing through. Professor Xavier, after a thorough scan, confirmed the grim reality. His teleportation ability was dormant, likely exhausted by the sheer will to survive the unimaginable pressures he had faced. The news hit Kurt like a physical blow. His Bamf was not just a power, it was a part of who he was, his identity, his freedom. The days that followed were a profound struggle. Kurt, ever the acrobat, still moved with an astounding grace and agility. He could scale walls, leap across vast distances, and perform feats of physical prowess that would humble most athletes. But without his teleportation, he felt incomplete. Every mission, every training exercise served as a stark reminder of what he had lost. Where once he could appear and disappear in the blink of an eye, disorienting foes and rescuing allies, he now had to rely purely on his physical skills. He learned to anticipate attacks with even greater precision, to move with an even more fluid economy of motion. He had always been a skilled swordsman and an adept fighter, but now these abilities were his sole recourse, his only shield and sword. This period was a truly humbling experience. The effortless grace of his teleportation had, perhaps, allowed him to overlook the sheer grit and determination required of heroes like Captain America or Wolverine, who relied entirely on their physical capabilities. Kurt was forced to rebuild his fighting style, to rethink every strategy. He discovered new nuances in his own body, pushing his strength, speed, and endurance to limits he hadn't thought necessary before. He spent countless hours in the danger room, sweating, aching, and occasionally failing, all without the comforting thought that he could simply bamf out of a tight spot. It was a baptism by fire, forcing him to confront his own vulnerabilities and to redefine what it meant to be Nightcrawler, a hero without his primary gift. Then, one quiet evening, while simply trying to move a heavy box in the mansion, a familiar yet muted sensation sparked within him. It was fleeting, like a ghost of a memory, but it was undeniably there. He tried again, pushing with a renewed, desperate hope. The air shimmered, a faint, almost imperceptible distortion. He gritted his teeth, focused harder, and with a guttural gasp, he bamfed, a mere 3 feet to his left. He collapsed against the wall, utterly drained, sweat beading on his brow. The power was back, but it was raw, unrefined, and incredibly strenuous to use. It felt like trying to lift a mountain with a single finger. The return of his powers wasn't a triumphant snap back to normal. It was a grueling re-education. Each teleportation left him exhausted, sometimes even nauseous. The effortless fluidity was gone, replaced by a conscious, almost painful effort. He had to relearn the feel of the void, the mechanics of his own unique transit through another dimension. He had to earn each Bamf now, focusing his will, expending considerable energy. But with each difficult, strained leap, his appreciation for his gift deepened immeasurably. He remembered the feeling of being grounded, the frustration, the fear. Now, even with the added difficulty, the ability to teleport, to phase through reality, felt like an incredible hard-won privilege. Kurt Wagner's journey through the temporary loss of his teleportation was more than just a challenging chapter. It was a transformative period. It stripped him of his most defining power, forcing him to dig deeper into his own resilience, his other skills, and his core identity. He learned to appreciate the extraordinary gift of his teleportation not as an inherent right, but a precious ability that demands respect and effort. It was a humbling experience that forged an even stronger, more grounded hero, one who never again took his incredible powers for granted. The Burned-Out Bamf had, paradoxically, illuminated the true strength within. And so, we see that even the most fantastic abilities can be fleeting, but the spirit forged in adversity endures. What do you think about Nightcrawler's journey? Have you ever experienced a situation where losing something made you appreciate it more when it returned? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing your perspectives. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories of heroism, challenge, and transformation. Until next time, take care.